A similar study conducted by researcher Peter Gary on the Greek manuscripts of the Bible. In his research, he compared 350 manuscripts to each other out of the total of 5,800 available Greek manuscripts, and he found a staggering number of differences between them. There were over 500,000 variations across just those 350 manuscripts.
All right. I was going to react to a suggestion, but then I saw this in my recommendation, the most direct proof of what the Quran is from Allah. And honestly, this has been one of my burning questions, because I hear Muslims always say that the Quran is from Allah, and I'm like, okay, what is that proof? What makes you so confident about that? I've always wondered about that. Like, how do you prove that this is truly the works of God, right? So I'm very curious to...
He did something that no one had thought of before. He compiled a book that could statistically prove the divine source of the Quran. But the crazy thing is that the book contains none of his words. No commentary, no explanation, no personal input whatsoever. Just pure, irrefutable proof. So, what is it? And how can a book with no author input prove anything? Well, we're about to find out. The book we're talking about is titled النص القرآني الخالد عبر العصور, the eternal Quranic text across the ages. And the idea behind it is quite simple, yet incredibly powerful. It is based on a detailed word-for-word comparison of a single surah of the Quran, Surah Al-Isra, comparing between a modern printed copy of the Mus'haf that you probably have today at home to the most ancient manuscripts from different ages, ranging from the 1st century of Hijrah, at the time of the Sahaba, all the way to the present day. In his research, he used 18 different manuscripts from different time periods, countries, and sources, including the Birmingham manuscripts, the Sana'a manuscripts, the Samarkand Mus'haf, the Topkapi Mus'haf, which is attributed to Uthman ibn Affan, may Allah be pleased with him. Also, the Rampur Mus'haf, which is attributed to Ali ibn Abi Talib, may Allah be pleased with him, the Mus'haf of Ibn Bawab, and many others from different centuries. And when he compared all of them, word for word, the result was nothing short of a miracle. Here you can see the first verse of Surah Al-Isra. The first line shows the modern printed version. And in the second line, it is the same text but without diacritics or dots for easier comparison, since the older manuscripts didn't contain any diacritics or dots. And then below, all the corresponding words from each manuscript. Every single word is shown across different mushafs and manuscripts, covering a span of 15 centuries, revealing an astonishing fact that doesn't need commentary or explanation. Keep your eyes on the first 4 or 5 words and see how each and every word remained exactly the same over a period of 14 centuries. The book then goes on and on comparing every ayah, every word of the surah. And despite coming from different times, regions, materials, and even writing styles, not a single word is missing or added. This is what perfect preservation looks like.
So he's saying because the Quran is perfectly preserved, but the Dead Sea Scrolls... Well, the Dead Sea Scrolls were kind of missing for a long ass time, so I can't even say that. Has there ever been... I'm sure there has to be many books that are preserved. I mean, I'm really trying to think about it. I can't really think of anything, to be honest, but what I'm saying is it doesn't really sound hard to perfectly preserve a book. I mean, you just write it. And you just You just keep it there. Like, what else do you do? God. But like, it's like I don't know how else more to say it. So it's like, I mean, you can say like, oh, books can be lost, books can be rewritten, and I mean, but something like this, extremely popular, even if there's so many different copies, surely, like if it's like as popular as this, as the Quran, the original copy, there would be more than plenty of like perfect preserved copies of the original, right? Right? That's what it's honestly hard for me to, I don't know. I I I I don't know. That's hard for me to, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Well, you can always enlighten me in the comments. Really hard for me to think about.
After this comparison, the author presents a graph showing the percentage of match between all of these manuscripts. And as you can see, the matching percentage is very high across the board, with the lowest match percentage of 92.6% for the Mus'haf of Ibn Bawab. But
Oh, wow.
wait a minute.
Nothing in the
Shouldn't
80s.
this be 100% if we're talking about perfect preservation?
I was just thinking that too. That did come across my mind.
Well, yes, but here's the thing. These differences are not about missing, added, or substituted words. They are just simply spelling differences. And to be more specific, they are orthographic differences, like color and color,
Oh.
and center.
Okay.
And as examples from the book, the word al-aqsa is written here with an alif, but in other manuscripts with an alif maqsura. The word subhan may appear in some with an alif, but in other manuscripts it is written with a dagger alif. Other examples like as-samawat, barakna, all have the same type of variations.
But still, I mean, according to according to Islam's perspective, the Quran is perfectly 100% perfect preserved. Like there should be absolutely zero modification to it. Right? I mean, that's just what I've interpreted based on all the videos and the comments that I've read. Like the Muslim perspective is like, yo, this is perfect. There should be like no differences, not even the slightest tweaks to it. I don't know. That's just how I interpret it.
Sometimes with an alif, sometimes with a dagger alif. So it is not that these words are misspelled. They just followed a different method to spell the same word. And that's why all of these words are still pronounced the same, which is the main point, since the Quran is primarily an oral text, meant to be recited, preserved through recitation, and not just writing. And so, Surah Al-Isra, which consists of 1,559 words,
Okay.
has had every single one of its words preserved across all manuscripts, across the ages, since the day it was revealed. This simple word-for-word comparison across centuries is all it takes to demonstrate the miraculous preservation of the Quran, something no other book in history can claim. But do you want to appreciate this study even more? Well, let's look at a similar study conducted by researcher Peter Gary on the Greek manuscripts of the Bible. In his research, he compared 350 manuscripts to each other out of the total of 5,800 available Greek manuscripts, and he found a staggering number of differences between them. Can you take a guess of how many differences he found? 100? 1,000? 10,000? Even 100,000?
What?
Nope, none of them is correct. According to his study, which I linked in the description, there were over 500,000 variations across just those 350
Whoa.
manuscripts.
What
He
the
even
heck?
created a helpful table showing the average number of variations per word. In Matthew, for example, there is an average of 5 variations per word. In Titus, around 7 variations per word. In the first letter
Again, this is why whenever I hear like, I thought this was common knowledge that the Bible has been like kind of warped throughout time. I thought that was common knowledge, but the fact that a lot of people genuinely don't know that, that's very concerning to me. Very concerning to me, bruh. Very, 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 very concerning to me. What's more concerning to me is back when I said that a while ago, the amount of Christians who were absolutely triggered at me saying that's not true. I'm like, what the hell? I thought this is common knowledge. Still blows my mind to this day, bruh.
of John, a bit better fortunately, about only 2 variations per word. If you think those numbers sound exaggerated or hard to believe, I strongly encourage you to read the study yourself. So when you see these facts and understand how much can go wrong over the centuries with any written text, it makes you truly appreciate the miraculous nature of the preservation of the Quran. And so, there is no better way to end this video than with the words of Allah.
A very interesting video. Very interesting video. Saw it on my feed and I was like, oh, let me react to this. This is worth hearing. Basically, what he's saying is that the Quran is there's literally no modifications to the Quran at all. But the only thing that I have to say regarding that is, honestly, shouldn't it be relatively easy to preserve an original copy of a book? Like, you know what I mean? But anyways, if you like my reactions, you like what I have to say in my videos, you know, subscribe for more. If you have any videos like this that you would definitely like to hear what I have to say, or you would like to see my reaction to, you could always suggest it in the comments below. Consider becoming a channel member, right? My active viewers, this is my active viewers. It's only 99 cents a month. You know, your suggestions are done quicker. You get insider info on when I'm gonna do this type of video, what my channel is gonna be like in the future, like member only videos and all that fun jazz. You know what I mean? Like when I had that concussion and I was just gone for like almost 2 weeks, and everyone was like, where did you go? And I wasn't really updating anybody. I was constantly updating my channel members, so you know, there's that. So you could check out all the perks that you get when you're a channel member on the channel page. Just click on my page, just click join, and you could just watch a 5-minute video, less than 5 minutes, of all the details that I explained to you that you will get when you become a channel member. So anyways, man, thank you for watching and goodbye.